Alright, good day to you, comrades. Today I'm going to explain how the platoon system works. I believe we promised platoons a while ago, and I just haven't gotten around to actually explaining how it's going to work, so I've kind of halted the high ranks from actually making them. So I'm going to go over the basics with a platoon. Today, I'm going to give you the links to everything that's needed. Like, I know Veteran currently possesses the Liver Platoon, and I believe I have the Otter Platoon. Which means after this video is uploaded on YouTube, and you see this, it's going to be available for most ranks to create a platoon. Alright, so basically, the platoon is your ability to lead a group in the Grey Army. Like, it'll be your own little off-division where you can just keep your friends in a group, and you guys can do whatever you want. Well, almost whatever you want. So, you can name your platoon anything. Like, I currently have mine named the Grey Army Otter Platoon. Veteran currently has his named the Grey Army Liver Platoon. You're not allowed to put, like, you know, anything offensively. Like, you can't put the Grey Army Nazi Platoon or whatever. Anything that's offensive will result in you being exiled and reported to the moderators, so let's not do that. Private First Class Plus can make platoons, meaning if you're a private, you should probably get promoted so you can make a platoon. Your platoon will function however you wish. Like, you can have your own little platoon gathering, preferably created by you, and no free models, but you can do whatever you want. Like, if you're not much of a builder, you can use old forts that you found on the free models, which I don't mind. You're not allowed to have your own uniforms. We have a t-shirt system, so everyone can, you know, even those who don't really have BC can create a t-shirt for their platoon. Which I will show you the template for everything. You will have 4 ranks. The commander, which is obviously you. You can have up to 2 officers, and you can have up to 4 captains, and then you have 13 soldiers. If you exceed the limits for any of these, your platoon isn't really an actual platoon, so it will be removed. In order for the platoon to be official, it has to be allied with the Grey Army registered platoons, which I currently have the Otter Platoon registered, and by the time you see this video, I'm sure many others will be registered. So yeah, I'm going to get into showing you how the logo works. What you see on your screen right now is the logo. You will be able to edit it. You're only allowed to edit in this area. So if you can use my logo as an example. I have a picture of an otter towards the middle. You can have any colors you want. You can, like, completely fill this with yellow if you wish, or whatever color you want. Yeah, so this is basically your design area. It just has to be in this triangular box, and it has to include the Grey Army's Grey Star. Right here we have the template for the t-shirt. Now, I know it doesn't look like much, but when you put this t-shirt on, it kind of looks like a badge that military officers do wear. So your platoon, you're only allowed to edit this area, so your platoon will be able to have some originality. Whether you want to put, like, pink stripes or yellow stripes or an ugly little brown stripe in the middle, it doesn't matter. You're not allowed to copy someone else's logo or t-shirt, which is their badge for their platoon. You're basically original with your platoon. If you don't have good editing software, I do. You can ask me to edit for you, and I'll be kind enough to do that if I have enough time. So yeah, I'm going to get into how you're going to run your platoon. Okay, so here we have the Otter Platoon. This is my platoon, like, so you'll be able to create your own platoon after you watch this video and understand what to do. But this is my platoon. There's no members currently. I have the captain, the officer, the commander. These are the only ranks you're allowed to have. I think I've already given you the numbers, but I'll go over it again. You can have 1 commander, which is you, 2 officers, and 4 captains, and then 13 soldiers. So that'll basically give you your 20 people to control and try to keep active, if you will. These can be your friends. These can be anyone in the Grey Army. Only restricted Grey Army members. You can't have foreign soldiers from Arson or from the Vectovian Empire come in and, you know, just to make your platoon look cool. As you can see, I have Otter as my platoon name, and I kind of represent it with my logo. You can have Banana Platoon, you can have Pumpkin Platoon, or I don't know, you can even have a platoon named after your cat, like Muffin's Platoon or something. In order for a platoon to be official, you have to have it registered with the Grey Army registered platoons. So, your Grey Army registered platoons, it basically looks like this. We will only include registered platoons in the Allies. If your platoon breaks a platoon rule, like if you're a private and you still own a platoon, then you don't necessarily, you're not a registered platoon, and I can remove you from the platoons legally, if you will. Say if your platoon has more than 4 ranks, then I can remove it from the platoons, and it can become unofficial. Or if your platoon has a very offensive name, I will remove that, and of course I will report you to the moderators. In order for your platoon to be registered, you have to send me your request. So you'll just go to your allies and send it to the Grey Army registered platoons, and when I look over it, I'll accept it. Yeah, so yeah, anyone can own a platoon as long as they're above private first class. As long as you follow the rules and you register your platoon, you can be official. You can do anything from a group party, like, let's go to Sword on the Heights. Yeah, I spelled that wrong. I mean, you can do anything with your group. You can train them, you can bring them, you can raid our enemies. The enemy system, if you have an enemy in your platoon, it has to be an enemy of the Grey Army. You can't just go off and declare war on fear for no apparent reason. Your platoon is yours, so nobody can come in and tell you, give me officer because I'm high rank in the Grey Army. They can't do that. It's better to be a part of a platoon before you lead one, but seeing as we don't really have any platoons, you can make one if you wish. If you are a leader of a platoon, you should try to set a good example. You shouldn't, I don't know. You shouldn't promote anything that's against Roblox rules. Like, you shouldn't make your platoon based on online dating. It's just, no. You shouldn't do that. I will release the old Grey Army guns after we update our gun system. So if you want to include those in your place, you can. And, you have my permission to do so. Platoons can have camps. They can't really have a fort. If you do make a place for a platoon, you want to call it the platoon camp. Like, I'll name it the Otter Platoon Camp, and then I'll give it its name. So, I don't know. Let's say I'm gonna name the camp Orange. It'll be like that in the place. Like, instead of your place name for blankety blank's place number and then 13, it'll be Otter Platoon or Pumpkin Platoon Camp, whatever, Orange. So yeah, it's preferred that you keep an original name for your camps. Like, if someone already has chosen Wales, don't use Platoon Camp Wales again. And if you don't know, you can always go to the catalog and click down to places and search it. You want to try to keep your group original. If you exceed the amount of members, which is 20, your platoon will be removed from the registered platoon list. If you want to include your t-shirt in your stores, you can. So yeah, when you send a request, make sure you have your logo done and everything. Make sure your group's set up and ready. I believe it costs like an investment of 125 Robux to create a platoon, because you have the initial 100 for your first 2 ranks, and then you have 25 for your second rank. So yeah, as long as you follow the rules, you keep the same rank names. Like, you don't have, instead of captain, you don't have admiral. You don't have your group. You have the same ranks as all platoons. Then you can basically run your platoon how you should. If there's anything I missed, go ahead and message me and I will respond. Like, if you have any questions about the platoons, go ahead. I think that basically covers everything about the platoon. You know, try to follow the rules, keep an original logo. I will post a forum post without my annoying voice and commentary on the CNG, and it'll be locked, and it'll be located in the registered platoons description. So, yeah, hopefully you do understand how the platoon system works, and hopefully you have fun with the platoon system. Alright.